Alrighty, I've got a few things to cover, so let's get going. First one is a mystery box from one of my subscribers, Jessica in the US. CA is California, if I'm not mistaken. And I have no idea what this is, so we shall find out together. Got my trusty unboxing knife here. And it's not a whole lot of tape, so that's a quick one. There's something loose in there. We shall see what's going on. So here is a note, which I'm going to read first. Hello, Scal. First, I would like to thank you for all the years of entertainment. You're welcome. The wonderful reviews and for your thoughtful, intelligent commentary on many social issues. While I have not always agreed with everything you've said, who has? You have genuinely convinced me to change several aspects of my lifestyle. Well, thank you. It's good to know. Through another Canadian friend of mine that's vegetarian, as well as your views on vegetarianism, I decided to become a vegetarian myself. Good on you and on the environment and everything else. Your talks about how meat is consumed purely for flavor and not necessity made me decide that I don't want anything sentient to die for no other reason than my taste buds. Second, I've always loved medieval arms, combat, and history, and your channel has only further pushed me to learn more about HEMA and other historical arts. Your channel got me into the hobby of practice cutting. That's a lot of fun, isn't it? I recently posted on one of your videos asking if the Albion Knut was a good sword. Sorry, I never saw that. Kara was kind enough to give me a quick reply, and while they told me that you two have many Albion swords and that they could easily recommend any Albion sword, please let Kara know that I appreciate the input, that it means a lot to me. Will do. Finally, there's the sword I've included as a gift. I know that disc guards and katana in general aren't your favorite, but the sword in this box is one that's been in my collection for a long time, and since you've reviewed fantasy swords in the past, I thought you might appreciate the way the sword blends Eastern and Western weapon designs in what I feel is a reasonably practical manner. In that case, I have an idea of what it might be. This is the Outland katana and was sold as part of Windlass's short-lived Galactic Crusade series. Okay, I guessed wrong. It's another one, which was basically a rip-off of the Jedi versus the Empire using steel weapons and hybridized East/West influences for the weapons and costumes. If you've handled the sword, I'm sure you've already noticed the traits that differentiate it from a traditional katana, namely the leather-wrapped grip, the presence of a pommel. A pommel, that's always good, isn't it? And the wider blade that is double-edged. That's also good. I feel that a more accurate class for the sword would be curved longsword. That sounds interesting. Although the guard is certainly influenced by traditional Eastern weapons. I originally bought this sword as a curiosity due to the blend of Eastern and Western ideologies, but I've since come to love it because, at least for me, it has a very good balance and weight to it. However, I've never had the proper equipment to give it the edge it deserves. Also, please forgive the corrosion on the blade. The sword got lost in storage after my last move and was apparently exposed to some moisture. Consider it my gift to you as a way to repay you for all the entertainment and enjoyment you've provided. Oh, thank you very much. While I won't ask that you review it officially, since this particular sword is no longer in production, I'd love to see you sharpen both edges and do some cutting tests with it, or just add it to your collection as a curiosity. Either way, I've always wondered how well it would cut if given a proper edge, and I'd love your opinion on the weight and balance. Good luck and good life to you and Kara both. Thank you, Jessica. Well, that is really awesome. Thank you very much, Jessica. And I'm going to see what I think about it. And yes, I'm definitely going to try to sharpen it up and do some test cutting with it, which might take a while, but I'll try to get it done relatively soon. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Huh. That feels really good, I have to say. First impression. Oh, that is quite interesting, the way that you see these bumps here. So on a katana, you've got this particular cloth wrap with the knots in the center, and this has got these little risers in the center that are kind of a hybrid of East and West. That is really a good way to look at it. It's also got a metal riser in the center, which of course is a very European feature. The pommel is in and of itself also kind of a hybrid because it is very small for a Western sword, but it is one. It is more than just an end cap. I think I can get behind this. Now, of course, I would prefer a larger guard. That's generally something but you know, I've also come to accept over the years that disc guards or cross guards aren't the be-all end-all, and that other types of guards are viable too. The nice thing is that for me personally, this eliminates a lot of the things that I personally am not fond of in a katana, primarily the way the handle feels and is shaped. Now, I'm not sure what I think about the bumps. That's actually one of the negatives on a katana handle, so that might be the one thing I do not like, but otherwise it's a pretty interesting design. And also, because it is double-edged and has a symmetrical grip, you can choose which edge to use, and also you can use longsword techniques, although I'm not sure about... Okay, that doesn't really work. The disc guard gets in the way, so I can't put my thumb up there the way I would for a longsword, because with a longsword you would execute this particular cut like that. I have to pretty much reach over the guard. Well, I guess I can kind of do it, but I guess something like a shield house should be fine. So if I turn this, oh yeah, that works. That works just fine. So I'm actually cutting with the back edge here. So yeah, it's got some extra options. It's quite interesting. I'm definitely going to have to give this a good edge. Shouldn't be too difficult because it almost has an edge. Like, this is essentially what I would call very dull rather than completely blunt. So shouldn't be too bad. So yeah, thank you again, Jessica. This is highly appreciated. It's definitely something different, and it's going to be interesting to mess around with, exactly because of, like you said, this mix of East and West. It's also nice to have it just because it is discontinued, so definitely got some collector's value as such. All right, so that was awesome. The next thing is not so awesome. In fact, it's the exact opposite. So people often ask me if I've ever hit my camera. And the answer to that is no. Not directly, at least. Something happened recently. Now, don't expect any spectacular footage. There is none. The only thing I have is this. So what happened is I was doing test cutting with tatami mats, and a substantial piece of tatami flew at the camera and hit it right in the lens. Of course, where else? And now it looks like this. So you can probably see that the lens is bent, it's off center, and it doesn't work anymore. It cannot move. Now this is, fortunately, this is not my main camera, the one that I'm using to record right now, but this is my slow motion camera. So that sucks. There is one camera repair shop in town, but I don't trust it because it has some pretty bad reviews. It seems that a few people had, got their camera back all in parts, and they said, sorry, can't fix it. So they had to pay like, what was it, $30 or so, or even more, 30 or 40, for them to just look at it, and then they took it apart and said that they can't repair it, and then they just handed it back to them. I don't particularly like that. And otherwise, this is not covered by warranty. Soaked pieces of rice straw mat smacking into the lens, that's just not, no. Now, I can try to disassemble it myself, but it's the kind of thing that I don't really like to mess with because I have zero experience or talent with electronics, and I'd probably just damage even more. So I've had to order a new one, which is a bit of a bother because this thing costs $1,500 after, tax and shipping and all that. But can't be helped. So I figured you might get a bit of a chuckle out of this. I still haven't managed to hit any camera with a thing that I held in my hands throughout the 10 years I've been making YouTube videos, but I've now hit it indirectly and caused a lot of monetary damage. But yeah, what can you do? By the way, I'm not going to do a crowdfunding campaign for a new camera or anything, because this was just me being stupid. I messed up. I should have taken into account that the mat might fly in that direction and hit it, and just, yeah. That was just completely my fault. So I'm just gonna have to take the hit, and that's it. If you want to help out, there's always my Patreon page, which is linked in the video description, but in this case I'm just, nope, that's completely my own stupidity and I have to pay for it. Anyway, speaking of money, I've got a few things to sell here. Now, you might recognize this. This is Byron Pursebane's outfit for whenever I do the old Blade Shop roleplay videos. Now, unfortunately, I can't wear this anymore. I've lost too much weight. And I mean, people have noticed it. Since last year, I've lost 20 kilograms or 45 pounds. And since my heaviest, actually, back in 2008 or so, I've lost 45 kilos or 100 pounds. So that's quite a lot. And this stuff just, it looks silly on me now. It looks clearly way too large. And it's such a shame because this is extremely high quality. It's very good stuff, fine clothing. This is from the Historical Emporium, and I'm just going to put this up on eBay because it would be a shame if it just hung in my closet and didn't get any use, and I could use the money right now. So yeah, it'll be there. It's a size large on this, and the pants are 38. So yeah, good stuff. The material is canvas and it's super durable, and so it's really high quality. I've also got this vest here, which same problems, is also a size large, just doesn't fit properly anymore. This one looks really fancy. And this stuff here is machine washable. This is not. This is dry clean only. So yeah, that will be linked down below, as well as this long sleeve shirt here. I'm also gonna put that up. I know, me talking about clothing is weird, but hey, that's how it goes right now. So this one is 2XL. This was already too large when I got it, and now it's ridiculous. I have a smaller version of this one, actually, that I wear. And this is one of my favorites here. That fruit bat manages to be both adorable and badass at the same time. Anyway, that's enough blah blah for right now. So thanks for watching if you made it this far, and have a good one.